Damn intro.
Good evening. Let me turn the phone.
Everybody want the full Saturday party.
Yo, welcome to the AMF Show.
Now everybody want the full Saturday party.
On Bars and Hoops Radio.
Now everybody want the full Saturday party.
Yo, every Thursday night, without a
Now
doubt.
everybody want the full Saturday party.
With our special guests, so check us out.
Peace, everybody. Welcome to the AMF Show. I'm one of your hosts, Big Ra, one half of the Almighty Force Brothers. I'm here with my man, the streetball legend, Kev Young. Oh, on the turntables, on the ones and twos, my man DJ Tiny in the building. Yeah. All right. Unorganized behavior every Tuesday night, 8 to 10. All right. Teacher ate a lot. Red Cup Affair every Sunday night, 9 to 11.
Facts.
All right. Listen, we have two legends in the building with us tonight. One of them who's running a little late. All right, but in the building right now, one of the great coaches from back in the days. One of the player coaches. Right, they went straight from just the neighborhood street ball, and then like took it on the road a little bit. Introduce yourself, my brother.
Hey, good morning. Matter of fact, it's not even good morning. It's good evening, everyone. How y'all doing?
All right.
First, I just want to say thanks for allowing me to be on this platform. You know, sitting here with a bunch of good guys from the neighborhood, and appreciate you having me back for a second time.
Yep, back for the second time,
Definitely.
And it's going to be a third time and a fourth time if you willing. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
like, you know, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, right?
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff inside me to let out.
All right,
but you know, it's interesting that you're gonna have me and James Ryans today, and it's interesting like when we was playing against each other, coaching against each other. You know, it's just a lot of stuff gets misunderstood,
right?
But when you look back now. Then you know I ain't gonna say a lot until he get here.
All right,
but you know it was just all love. You know, he was like the top dog.
Yeah.
So you always want to beat the top dog. So you know sometimes you got to ruffle a few feathers along the way.
Okay.
And I think I ruffled a few. You know, but in all reality though, it was all admiration and just love of the game of basketball. What James had did and put together was he put together a real good program with his primetime Roadrunners, and it inspired me. Right. You know, to put my little program together, Buster Bombers, and you know, he was top dog, you know, and you know, I got into a couple of championship games against him and never got him over the championship, but I got some wins over him. So that's the key thing. So I did beat him, but when it counted, you know, I didn't beat him when bring home the gold, you know, but you know, it's a privilege just knowing that even sometimes just when you playing a championship game, you know, you think about your journey. I mean, just to get the championship game, you had to go through the regular season, then you had the playoffs, and then you got the semifinal game. And I always say the semifinal game was always the hardest game because that's the game you want to win to get the championship.
To get to the championship.
If you lose the semifinal game, you'd be like, man, you just feel like
you were like that close.
Exactly.
And then everybody, because I remember like back in the days in Glen tournament, when I first. You know, we had like put the Almighty Force basketball team together. You know, I was glad because Glenn came out third place. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I got third place one year, and I was like, and I think we didn't even have to play. I think the team that we were supposed to play didn't even show up. Wow. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, those are some good times back in the days, man.
So that that's what I think about. So sometimes just get to when you win that semifinal, you get a championship game. I mean, you know, you always went home with something. Of course, you just want to win.
You want to win.
But then, you know, when you look back sometimes, like now that's all over with. Yeah. And I look back sometimes, like I say, wow, you know, like when Pete had the first Pro-Am by IS8. Guess who was in the championship? Okay. Primetime Roadrunners, Buster's Bombers.
All right.
And then years later, when James started playing out in Jersey at the Nelson League, then I started hearing about that, and I'm like, I joined the league. Remember, like as we said on the last podcast, I remember we had to play in a playing game. Then Harry James telling us we wanted to get in the tournament. So you're gonna need a little height and all that. So we took our lumps the first year, and it made me so proud. By the third year, I was in the championship against James Ryans. The third took me 3 years to figure it out. Now, year 1, year 2, progress, year 3 in the championship game. And the thing that was great about it was I was winning at halftime. So I was halfway there. Almost had him.
You were halfway there.
Part of the third quarter loss. But you know what? The thing that made it so nice was, how we used to play out there in them jerseys, Harry James jerseys. They used to try to push their little like jersey, some basketball. Yeah, and I was like, I remember we was going through the playoffs, and I was like, 2 New York teams lost. I walked to the gym, like, guys was late. I was on the court. I was getting into the game, and then Cox got to the game. He's like, okay, Bus. All right, we're here now. He said, we need you to coach. And then we took out all them Jersey teams, and then guess who the finals was? All New York.
All right.
So no matter what, New York City, like they say with the Knicks, this is the Mecca. And even in the summer league, when we went up against them Jersey cats, we're going to let them know that it was all New York. So that was one of my proudest moments. And it was even playing against James, just knowing that, this is all New York right here. In a Jersey league. Ran by Jersey guys.
A Jersey pro-am.
Exactly.
Right, a Jersey pro-am.
So, those are 2 things I think about when I think about playing against James and primetime road runners is that, just he set a bar high.
Yeah.
And, I did the best I could to try to reach that. Didn't quite reach it, but I was knocking on the door a little bit.
Knocking on the door.
Yeah. It was cool. It was fun.
All right, so we gonna continue that conversation, But before we do that, in the D League, the Almighty Force D League, gonna be at 121 Rockaway Boulevard. All right, there the teams is already formed. The kids got their uniforms, and they're gonna have a media day. See, we do stuff like that, like media days. The little babies. The little babies is doing media days.
Nice.
Shout out to Rodney Pete, on the check-in, right?
He checked in. Rodney Pete. Tell him what's up.
What's up? Bus say what's up, Rod? That's all right. Man. Peace, Jessica. All right. And also, congratulations to the traveling team, the 15 and under traveling team. Made it to the championship last week in AAU in Pennsylvania. So congratulations, for making the championship. All right. One of the things I wanted to talk about with you and James, right? Like, because I had teams, we stayed, like New York, right. So, one of the things, we did. We
just staying local was always good. New York ball was still good, even in the hood.
Yeah,
no doubt, definitely.
But I wanted to touch on because I know you formulated like your program and took it to Jersey, right? So the young people that's out there, all right. James, he just hit me up. Did he hear? Oh, hold on 1 second. Yo, let's play some music while we waiting for James to come through. All right. Throw on that Jay-Z joint.
Okay. For a second, can I just make a quick shout out?
Go ahead. Do your shout out.
Yeah, bro. I just want to end the last year, good friend of mine. A lot of people know he played ball, but he wasn't like big time ball player. Good guy to play with me in high school. Was a freshman. I was a senior. Good kid. Mark Brown had passed away.
Light skin.
That was my guy. It's gonna be really sad in the summertime. You got to be IS8 and all. He don't come through, and it just, he was a good kid, good guy. And what's sad? Like, I don't even celebrate birthdays, but my birthday's Saturday, and Mark's birthday is somewhere around mine. For the last 40 something years, he always texts me, "Happy birthday." He never forgets. And he's a good kid, and it's just that I know his son had to, I think, with his ball and all that, and then Mark's sister died a few weeks before he did. It was crazy.
Wow.
So I think he just cremated them, and I was like saying that, I just hope I can link up with his son and hope we can have a little Memorial Day for him. because you know he was loved in the community. He was a good guy.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So you know, that's just what I just wanted to just put that out there. That you know that touched me a lot, though, knowing that the passing of my good friend and part of the neighborhood, Mark Brown. Shout out to his family.
Posting him for like 2 weeks on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out at Brooklyn. Now I'm down in Tribeca, right next to the Narrow. But I'll be hood forever. I'm the new Sinatra. And since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to cop in Harlem. All of my Dominicanos right there up on Broadway. Pulled me back to that McDonald's. Took it to my stash spot, 560 State Street. Catch me in the kitchen like the Simmons whipping pastry. Cruising down A Street, off-white Lexus. Driving so slow, but BK is from Texas. Me, I'm out that Bed-Stuy, home of that boy Biggie. Now I live on Billboard, and I brought my boys with me. Say what up to Tata, still sipping my top. Sitting courtside, Knicks and Nets give me high five. Nigga, I be spiked out, I could trip a referee. Tell by my attitude that I most definitely from.
These streets will make you feel brand new. Big lights will inspire you. Let's hear it.
You welcome, OG. I made you high, nigga. Catch me at the X with OG at a Yankee game. Shit, I made the Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee can. You should know I bleed blue, but I ain't a crypto. But I got a gang of niggas walking with my click though. Welcome to the melting pot. Corners where we selling rock. Africa been by the shit. Home of the hip hop. Yellow cap, gypsy cap, dollar cap, holla back. For foreigners, it ain't fair. They act like they forgot how to act. 8 million stories out there in the naked city. It's a pity half of y'all won't make it. Me, I got a plug special ed, I got it made. If Jesus paying LeBron, I'm paying Dwayne Wade. 3 dice CeeLo, 3 card Marley. Labor Day parade, rest in peace, Bob Marley. Statue of Liberty, long live the World Trade, long live the King, yo. I'm from the Empire State. That's
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Count your New York.
welcome to the bright light, baby.
Make you feel brand new. Big lights will inspire you. Let's hear it for New York, New York, New York.
Lights is blinding, girls need blinders so they could step out of bounds quick. The sidelines is lined with casualties who sip the life casually, then gradually become worse. Don't bite the apple, Eve. Caught up in the in crowd, now you're in style. And in the winter gets cold, in vogue with your skin out. City of sin, it's a pity on a whim. Good girls going bad, the city's filled with them. Mommy took a bus trip, now she got a bust out. Everybody ride her, just like a bus route. Hail Mary to the city, you're a virgin. And Jesus can't save you, life starts when the church in. Came here for school, graduated to the highlight. Ball players, rap stars, addicted to the limelight. Empty and May, got you feeling like a champion. The city never sleeps, better slip you an ambient.
He played ball at
You use free advertising. Let me turn this mic on.
All right. All right.
What time is it?
All right, with that. All right. What you say, Buster?
What time is it?
What time is it? Go. Put a mic up. Put a mic up.
Come on now. What time is it?
It's prime time.
All
There we
right.
go. There we go. It's prime time. There we go. That's what's
All
up.
right. Our other distinguished guest
Hey, T-shirt.
is in the building. You know, legendary coach, scout for the Knicks, down with the Harlem Globetrotters, right? GM for the Harlem Globetrotters, right? Businessman, right? Basketball coach. Go ahead. Don't leave out. Introduce yourself first.
Don't leave out IS8 because that's where most of us started from.
Right.
So I did.
Right.
And we always got to remember where we threw our first ball. You know.
Yeah.
You went in there strong. You let it be known that I move over. Here I am.
And then we went from there.
Yep. And we got James Ryan. We got James Ryan in the building. All right, James Ryan with the building. All right. And we before you came, we were just talking a little bit. Buster, he was like speaking a little bit about Jersey, about when he took Buster Bombers on the road. And then he mentioned about meeting y'all in the championship. All right.
We played. It's been many years, and I'm an old man now, but I remember those games.
But the thing about what I mentioned was the fact that a lot of times when we was playing ball, competitors, it looked sometimes I got a little crazy, but in all reality, it was just you was the best. You had the best team, so you was like you had to get hunted down, and I was trying to hunt you. And so I was just telling them say that, but I was proud that when that's two proud moments, like when Pete had the first ISA tournament, who was in championship, Buster Bombers, James Ryans. And then when I started hearing about Jersey, then I got in the league. And by my third year, I strengthened my team good enough that we both knocked off all these Jersey teams. And guess who was in the finals? 2 New York teams, primetime Roadrunners, and Buster's Bombers. So when I think of this 2 moments like that, like, yeah, I never beat you in a championship. But but we got there. But we got there in it, and it is kind of a proud moment knowing that I was chasing you, and I was right there. I was on your heels.
I want to add something to this, right?
I couldn't get over the hump.
What you're describing about that, James went through in every borough.
Yeah,
like Sid from Brooklyn was chasing you. You know what I'm saying? It was a competition, man. Wherever he went, everybody tried to beat James.
Sid from Brooklyn,
Uptown.
But a good question.
Oh, the Bronx. Yeah, the Bronx.
Talking to the mic. Talking to the mic, James.
Nassau County out here. People from Long Island. People from Jersey. Then we started going down to D.C. prime time and playing in those Nike leagues.
Traveling teams.
Yeah.
So, showing the road.
And then, of course, with Kevin Young and his crew, used to go out to Las Vegas and Los Angeles and everywhere. So, I didn't, as I said the last time I was here, I really didn't start doing basketball with the idea that it's going to lead to an NBA job or getting nice big paychecks and all that. Yeah, I think we as black men deserve to get those things, but I thought of it because actually I didn't have anything else to do.
Well, you picked a good. You picked something good to do with your free time. Yeah, definitely.
But life is like that. Life is about chances, taking risks, and getting lucky. But when you prepare yourself,
you did good.
Luck becomes success, and it continues like that. So you have to be ready if things work out for you. But the one thing I have to always remember is I started at Ajax Park, Lincoln Park, with the Jamaica Roadrunners, really.
Okay.
And then later on, I changed in 19.
This is before we was able to go to the park.
Oh, okay. Okay. Jamaica Roadrunners.
Before we could go off the bike.
Right.
Well, you see,
who was on that team?
Fly Williams.
Fly. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I got you. Right. Right.
World Be Free.
Yeah.
Did you ever have Al Skinner with them?
Yeah.
Al Skinner, we played against him.
Right.
Every year in ISA.
Yeah, he's played. I used to go up to the games and watch Al Skinner play.
Yeah. We played him every year for the championship.
Yeah.
I was 14. I played on a team with Al Skinner at ISA.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah.
They didn't have enough. Shit. Like, yo, Kev, go play.
Right. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
And you probably dunked on somebody.
I was scared to death.
Yeah, but you probably dunked on somebody.
So I like to know, right? Because I knew both of y'all from the 80s and 90s, right? Like what made y'all? I'm gonna ask you first, but what made you get into coaching? What made you take that step of like getting your own team and all of that? What made you do that?
It was like the first team I ever put together when I became a player coach was back in that was like 83. See, the year before, like I used to play under Fred Neal.
Okay.
And then, like the cleaning I was working for, I got the boss to sponsor us. So we smacked everybody. Won that. Then next year we played again. And I don't know why Fred, I don't know why he wasn't coaching or didn't. I just kind of put the team together. You know, it's like me, Pete, True, Hans McMillan, Bob Young, Pedro. And we put a team together and I just started being a player coach. And, you know, it just
I remember you out there taking your
mouthpiece. It just kind of caught on that, you know, I could do this. Like, you know, you play. And the thing was, like I said before, I could have, listen, I played ball. I could have made it about me, like, well, win or lose, I'm playing. You know what I mean? Right now, but I think I prioritize winning over playing. And then I found that balance of playing, coaching. Sometimes guys didn't show. Oh, that's my time to play. We only got 5 or 6. When they got 10, 11, then, you know, I don't know. It just kind of evolved into that.
Right.
And I just kept on doing it. And, you know, didn't even need no coach. I need somebody to coach me for it. And I just felt like we was winning when I'm doing it.
I hear you.
And I'm paying. So, just keep on. There it is. CEO, coach, general manager, you know, that's it.
Right.
You know?
Hey, Rodney, you can call in with a good question.
Yeah, good. You know? Yeah, you can call in, Rod. You put the phone number up? Yeah. Yo, what about you, James? Like, what made, because, you know, as long as I knew you the coach. But I used to go to North Battalion, and we used to go to North Battalion. I used to play against you, right? And I was like, you strong as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like,
playing them Brooklyn boys.
Yeah, you know. So I was like, so I know you played, but I was just curious to, like, what made you like really be interested? Like, yeah.
Well, it was like I said, life is about chances, risks, and opportunity when it presents itself. After college, I had hurt my knee and I couldn't play football anymore without surgery, and I didn't want to do surgery. So my brothers, Leroy Ryans, Alan Ryans, and the guy named Kenny Thompson that you all might remember, Mike Pettis from Rochdale, they had a team. And so they asked me to come and play because they were going over there in Lincoln Park and playing. Pat and what other guy named Pat and another guy. They used to run that Billy was a correction officer. Billy. Anyway, they had tournaments. Billy Moran.
Shout out Lincoln Park legend.
That's it.
Billy Moran. That's Bob Moran pops. Yeah. See, we all knew Bob Moran used to play for what, Boston College? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all knew Bob Moran.
They had the tournament over there in Lincoln Park. And my brothers, they wanted someone that they knew that because I was my brother, so they knew. And they wanted me to come with them because I was a little older, and they thought about they were getting cheated and whatever. And they wanted me to come there and just get some rebounds.
Okay.
And really
and beat somebody up.
Yeah.
So
real basketball.
So that's what it was.
So that's
and I had no problem with that because that's what I did. You know?
Right.
Because I was a football player, really. But
so did you play in high school, James?
Yeah.
You played in high school in Georgia?
Yeah, but I wasn't in Georgia. I wasn't a rim protector.
I hear you.
And I wasn't a beefy guy.
Right.
At high school, I was really small.
Oh.
I didn't grow to 6'2" until I got out of high school.
Oh,
when I came to St. John's, I was 5'9", 160 pounds.
Okay.
I came in and all of a sudden, before my sophomore year, I grew from 5'9" to 6'2". I had a late growth spurt.
Okay.
And so when I was taller, so I started lifting weights, but got the weights in my house every day, and ate all the potatoes. Tad steakhouse on Jamaica.
That'll do it.
What $1.99 for the steak and the potatoes.
That's
and
it.
all that.
Yeah.
You know, and I was going there every day after class to eat. And I picked up the weight because I started playing football at St. John's there.
Okay.
So, but I went into Lincoln Park with my brothers, but I was getting in a fight every day. Every Saturday we had a game. I was in a fight first quarter. And then after we break that up, I was in a fight the second quarter. And then after they break that up, I'm fighting the referees. I just didn't care.
That's why you like the Anthony Mason. You get a fight with everybody.
You got on another shirt, color shirt.
Shout out to Anthony Mason, his family, man.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but then Pat and Billy Moran, they told my brothers, look, I understand that's your brother and this and that, but you know, y'all can play again in the league, but he can't play no more.
That's what they said about you.
Yeah. and so my brothers didn't want to tell me that while we were in the park. That was like the last game.
Because you was gonna fight somebody.
You don't tell me I can't.
You had to tell your brothers. He knew not to tell you to his face, though.
But all respect, you know, they grown men and they handle their business. Too.
Yeah.
He had his correction gun and all of that. But see, one thing people forget: you don't need a license to have a gun.
That's true.
And you don't need a license to pull that trigger.
That's
so
true
I don't
too.
care about no license. You know, and I was in martial arts at the time anyway. Because most people don't know, but I went all the way up to the black belt. I was in matches. Because of my weight, I picked up weight. So I was in the light heavyweight at first, and I became a heavyweight.
You ain't got to tell us how tough you are on that.
No. That's
Kevin. Everybody already know.
That's Kevin Young.
Everybody know don't mess with James Ryans.
Background.
It's a good story, though. He's telling about how he lead up to the.
That's how I started.
He's talking about fighting in one of the toughest parks that was in Queens at the time.
Yeah.
I couldn't even go to that goddamn park. I couldn't even go to that park. You better not go to that park.
There's some pretty rough boys over there.
It was wild over there. In fact, Glenn McMillan and Donnie McMillan and all them, they were playing with the Southside team.
Right.
Kyle Head,
Right.
Dave Edwards, Big Gino, Whitfield, not Briscoe. What was his name? Little tough, strong. Anyway,
That's who taught me. Who taught you, Rodney? Who taught you?
And they had a good team.
So they tell you.
Let me play.
So you I'm a coach.
I went back
Oh,
over the following
Jesus.
summer, and I went and let them know that if I don't play, these rims gonna come down.
I don't know if that would be appropriate, Rodney Pete.
You know, and that's what I would have done too.
Right.
But so I put my own team in.
Right.
And my brothers, I said, no, y'all cool, but y'all ain't gonna win.
So that's how you started having teams. So that's how. So
he's forced to be a coach.
Yeah.
You was around them. You was around them all the time, huh?
Yeah. So that's.
And that's how I really started, because I couldn't. They tell me I can't. When you tell some people they can't do something, they're gonna they're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah,
good career choice.
That's the that's the motivating factor sometimes. That's the motivating factor sometimes.
And then Mel Utley and his brother Kelly Utley and all that, they had teams. It was just good, man.
Yeah.
But that Southside team, man, they were loaded with everybody from Jamaica.
You had Ed Sersky in them. You had.
I did.
That was other team.
That was later on. Ed Sersky and I went to St. John's together. We went to St. John's together. So a couple years later, I started him, Mel Davis, and all of them. I started letting them play.
He's big, strong guy, Mel Davis, ain't 6'7".
So things just what people can say evolutionized.
Yeah.
I say revolutionized because
Okay.
it was a different thing for me. And then, as Buster mentioned earlier, you start the team up and you put it together and you paying all the money for the teams and everything. But once I met Jocko and Ruby Free, with Lloyd Free at that time, Fly Williams and all of them, Wayne Freeman, you name them. I couldn't put myself in the game.
Right.
We could be up 50.
You just named some legends. You just named all basketball legends.
Yeah, but these guys were all NBA level players.
Yeah.
So
they played in the hood too.
About 50 points or 30 points or 20 points. I still got guys on the bench who got to play before I do.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just kept my pharmacy prescriptions and all that on the sideline.
Yeah, I can relate to that though.
And enjoy that part of it.
Right.
But then when we get to the bar and to the clubs, most of the ball players, they were stiff. They couldn't dance.
With James, you was dancing, right?
Yes, sir. The
James Brown.
So as a place for everybody in this world where you can be what you feel is top dog.
Right.
But we all need to learn and accept who we are
and
where we are in life. It's much easier for you because you get along with everybody because you do what you do best.
So let's talk about the teams. So let's talk about like Buster Bombers and just talk about like some of the dudes, like to make you elevate to the level that you did. Just talk about some of the guys that you had on the team.
I mean,
huh?
Yeah. No, but when I think about James, I mean, listen. I'm a student of the game. I'm like, I mean, James had a, he probably could be, listen. I remember you used to go up. Y'all used to go up there and scrimmage at the Knicks purchase. I'm sure like Speedy was used to busting Charlie Ward's ass, and yeah, exactly. Like I can imagine like the people that you had. Yeah, you had a team. And
did you ever go up there with us?
Nah, man, I ain't going.
I used to hear them stories. So I never even whatever I achieved through basketball, never on the pinnacle of what James had did.
I John Starks.
Yeah. I mean, James had a little. I think James had a little more freedom. I still was working on the grind, so I just couldn't be all over the world. I just had some other responsibilities that I needed to take care of. But you know what? I'm just glad that I was able to do my little part. And just like I said to myself, like, a lot of times it was just few wins I had over James. I'm happy to get a win. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud to be in the championship going sideline to sideline. When I sit back on it, like where we at now, like at the time I probably was miserable, but not now. When I look back now, I say, man, I can rest my hat. Like it was good, it was fun. And then, James known me a long time, coming through Baisley, seeing me in True playing ball, like this little guy. You probably said, oh shoot, he used to come through, yeah.
Well, Buzz, and Kim and Raheem, you can't live in this world by yourself. So, and in order to be somebody, you got to beat somebody. And if you don't beat them, you got to play. There is no one team. And as Michael Jordan said about a few months ago in a podcast, it's impossible to sit back and say who the best basketball player of all time.
Right.
It's impossible to say what was the best team of all time. Now, you can say what the top 10 players were.
Right.
Say what the top 10 teams were. I would think that prime time, when you talk about pro-am basketball, we would be in the top 1 and 2.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I think we would have gave the Knicks hell.
I had no question.
What?
We did. We went up there.
Yeah.
I was working for the Knicks, so Jeff Van Gundy would let me bring my primetime guys up there. There was nobody up there stronger than Grun and Moore.
Right.
There was nobody up there wilder than Speedy.
Faster than Speedy.
But now when we went up there, though, Mason would play with us in Jersey and
Jersey
in August. And then when September come around, when
he back up,
we got the open run. We got the we didn't call it open run because it had to be invited. But when we up there with the Knicks, Mason had to play with them against us, and he was throwing elbows and acting like what he was.
Right.
In fact, he leveled Speedy.
Yeah,
he leveled him.
That's my guy, though, man. Mason, miss him.
Speedy was embarrassing Charlie Ward. I'm not talking. So he went to the basket and Mason leveled him. And he rolled, and Mason drove him up there.
What the relationship was like that.
Yeah.
See, but
that's some good stuff, though. Really good stuff. You got to
to
experience that.
But they needed that because some of them, the Knicks are always
Chris Childs,
one little step away from winning.
Yeah, that was the last team that went to the chip, right? That team, that
they did
team.
play hard though. Even like Chris Childs and Charlie Ward, and
Chris Childs, we were up there. Chris had gotten traded or got hurt.
Me or something.
They had Alec Houston. They had them all up
Pat
there.
Riley fucked them up.
No question.
Pat Riley fucked them Knicks up by leaving that 1 for 30 motherfucker and not putting Orlando Blackman in.
He was loyal to a fault.
Fellas, I want to let you all know something. I say our, but it's really you all. Your guy, Big Patrick.
From Far Rock.
Man,
Shout out.
Man, he was giving Patrick Ewing the business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but now he was guarding him real tough and all that. But Big Patrick didn't have footwork. And he was only about 6'7" or 6'8". They say he was 6'9", but he really wasn't, right? He dominated the parks. Now Patrick Ewing wasn't really guarding him though. When we had the ball, Anthony Mason or Oakley would guard Big Patrick.
Right.
Okay.
So he wasn't, but on the other end, Big Patrick was our big guy, and so I had him on Patrick Ewing.
Okay.
Ewing wasn't posting him up though; he was out there shooting him jump.
Right. Yeah.
So if you hit him on the elbow a couple times, I have to give him the ball.
Yeah.
But then the next time he know you might hit him, so he shoot it a little quicker, so that he might miss. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I told him, keep it.
Yeah, but that's good though.
Hey Kevin, you can't foul out.
Yeah, right, right.
I'm
Yeah.
the ref. I'm running the practice.
Hit that elbow.
Yeah. But yo, that's
Shout out to Ewing.
right. And shout out to Fall Rock team. You know, Jeff Artist, Al, Pat. You know, shout out to that team. You know, he's in North Carolina now.
I talked to him.
Okay.
Okay,
He
that's
always
what's up.
send me information on players, college players that he knows. And one of them was his nephew at UMass last year. And so I grabbed him up, you know, 6'9". And then he had some high school kids down there. I was going to try to get them to come up and play at ISA. But then the guy got on the AAU team. And so he didn't come up and play last year. He was on the high school team. So Big Patrick is still involved. He lives in North Carolina.
Okay, that's what's up.
His son trying to
Remember Mark Smith?
You're not doing nothing with
James
basketball now, are
had
you?
around
Well,
and
I'm starting
AJ.
again.
What the hell is he talking about?
We starting now.
But this is what's going on. The USBL, I own Long Island.
Yeah.
So the USBL started. We stopped playing in 2008.
Right.
Yeah, 2026. The USBL just started again.
Oh, it's starting back.
It started, yeah.
Oh, it started.
In March last month.
Okay.
Now we have 8. I say we because I'm gonna tell you why I say we.
Okay.
We have 8 teams this year.
Okay.
All of them on the West Coast.
Okay.
We got Seattle. We got Portland. We got Salem, Washington. Salem, Oregon. We got
But like explain to everybody, USBL, that's a pro basketball
Yes.
league.
Yes,
That's
it
a
is.
pro basketball
That's how
league.
Anthony Mason and all of them got to the NBA.
I remember when John Williams with
Big
Williamson,
John.
right? Big John Williams.
John Williams.
Yeah, I remember it
John
True.
Williams.
He came through the project with True, and he had that. What was that problem he had that he couldn't? It was something. What was he going through?
Well, see,
He had a little problem that he couldn't play right away. Well, he had some issues, but he was nice. 6'10", 6'11".
No
Right.
question.
Yeah, he come with True, right? They was playing. It was on your team together. Yeah.
Who you talking about, Big John?
Yeah, Big John Williams.
Oh,
No,
okay.
John Williams that played in the NBA for the Cavaliers.
Oh, okay.
Not,
All right.
not the heavy Johnny.
No.
Right, right.
The NBA John.
Yeah.
From UCLA.
That's what I was thinking about.
Nah,
He played against us.
Yeah.
he was good though, John. Yeah,
Yeah, he
I know,
played
yo.
with San Diego Clippers.
Yeah.
Big John Williams was an all-star.
yeah.
But he had,
I forgot what his situation was. That he had some kind of problem he had to get past. Yeah, but he got past it.
Yeah.
Made some money. That's
So
it.
So USBL was
okay.
the way you could get people into the NBA.
It was the problem child
The
league.
reason that I bought the Long Island Surf, actually, I wasn't trying to buy the whole team. I was just putting money in so they could keep their season going. Because Pat Riley had just gotten the Knicks job. And it was in 1991. And we had contacted the nation. We had the scouts coming out to our USBL games out here in Long Island. Because we want them to see Anthony Mason so we can scout Mason, try to get him in. And Pat Riley wouldn't accept the scouts' versions of what they thought, the evaluation of what they thought Mason would be.
Right.
So he waited all the way to the end of the summer. Mason played with us the whole summer. The scout kept coming out though, but he said, "Look, keep playing." And he kept giving him the tapes and all that, but not. Riley just wouldn't accept Mason coming into the Knicks camp for the trial. But finally, he relented and he said, "Okay, all right," because he said Mason, couldn't shoot. He couldn't shoot. Blah, 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 blah. He's a heck of an athlete.
Yeah.
Right.
He could actually play point guard.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
He was fast.
Yeah.
Because at that time he wasn't 260 pounds. He was 225.
Right.
And then shit, and all that. So he finally let him come to camp. They went up. They started practice, and Mason made the team. He never came back.
Yeah, that's why I don't put
Okay.
Pat Riley up there as a great coach. Something wrong
Nah, but
with him, man.
but in all reality, once he got Mason in, he played him.
Yeah,
He didn't just have him sit on the bench.
Nah, he
Well,
played.
Any
realized-
coach would have played them.
Yeah, he realized
Don't
that he
give
had
no credit
talent,
to him.
and then it didn't take him long to realize. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because Mason was getting, Oakley was getting in foul trouble.
And Oakley and Mason used to go at it in
Mhm.
practice.
But
though, when
Mason
first
had
got
his
on the
skill
team.
set. He was able to dribble and he could bring the ball up, like point forward,
Right.
like yeah.
Yeah.
I heard
That's
you
how he
and-
made-
I heard you didn't like it that though. That Mason was bringing up. You and had a problem with him, like yeah, like yeah.
Yeah, but
Give it to the God.
Yeah, give it to God. I know, yeah.
but Mason, he earned his, of course, and they needed what he had, what he brought to the
Multiple
to the plate.
skill set.
They needed what he brought to the plate, and because their point guard was Derek Harper.
Yeah, I remember Derek
My
Harper.
dude,
Right.
he's tough on the court.
Fearless.
But yes, he's tough on that court.
He got him when he's
But-
on the
Yeah,
little
the
last
last
leg.
Yeah.
Knees were
Yeah,
bad,
last
his
leg.
back was hurt, but he was on his
Last
years.
The Knicks was
Yeah.
playing him 38 minutes a damn.
Yeah. And he really but when the Knicks made it to the chip, he really couldn't handle Sam Cassell and them.
He
He really couldn't.
He's on his last.
He couldn't.
Listen, nobody
You know, I
knew
was-
Sam Sam came in. It was just like, yo.
I was like, wow.
Sam was for real.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know,
In 1994, when they played against Houston,
in the chip, yeah.
and I sat right there. And, man, he was a rookie. Sam Cassell.
See, I remember.
He played like a veteran, though.
Yeah.
What the Houston Rockets coach would do, he would start. Sam Cassell was a rookie, so he started Kenny Smith, and,
Right.
and
Vernon, Maxwell. Yeah.
But it was finishing games.
5 minutes into the game,
Get him Sam.
was coming in,
Get Sam in.
and the Houston would just take over.
Oh yeah.
And Olajuwon there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do we remember that the Knicks couldn't have they didn't have Patrick Ewing guarding Olajuwon.
Right.
They brought Mason off the bench real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
to
of the
him.
footwork. Yeah,
Right.
right. Yeah.
Mason guarded.
Yeah.
And Elijah
was
was
tripped on himself with all the moves, that dancing moves that Elijah was.
I saw.
So what they did, but Ewing is going to be on the court.
Yeah.
Who do we put him on? So they put him on Otis Thorpe.
Or the
Otis
store.
Thorpe, yeah.
Yeah.
Thorpe
Yeah.
shooting.
6'11".
he was.
Yeah, he was big.
Yep.
Shoot.
Otis Thorpe
Brought
led
him
them in
outside.
scoring. Otis Thorpe led the Houston Rockets in scoring in that season.
He was good. He's
Right.
physical
Well,
too.
no, because who was guarding?
Because at first I said that was
Yeah.
the last Knicks team that made the championship, but then the other team made the
Rudy-
championship.
Who was coaching the Knicks then?
Well, that was Pat Riley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rudy Tomjanovich out coached him.
Yeah, Rudy Tomjanovich.
Okay.
He's a good
And I was
coach.
down in Houston because Mason and I made an arrangement. So I was down there in Houston during the series, and all the newspapers and all of the media was talking about Anthony Mason because he was shutting. I'm not just guarding him; he was shutting him down.
Yeah.
So Olajuwon was saying, he must have a number. He must have a number. But Mason, everybody, we all know it. Everybody, the world knows that Mason might have gone to clubs a lot and party. He was a free living person.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But Mason was a student of the game.
Yeah.
He used to watch film all the time.
Yeah.
When they get ready to play somebody tomorrow, he'd be home late that
So I
night.
never knew that about Mason.
Yeah.
I never knew that
He would
about
get
Mason.
home, they playing the videos of the game and they looking at who he's got. to
Mace
play
would
against.
come to Ajax and watch the games without even playing. Nobody even knew he was there. He'd just sit there
Stand back
and watch the
inside with
game.
that cap on his
Yeah.
that sun cap.
Mace
when
was
he was
just
skinny.
he was just a round the way dude, man.
Yeah.
So what?
That's
Yeah.
when he was skinny
He was a
Mace.
student in the game.
He went to school and just boom, boom.
Yeah. At Tennessee State. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what he would do, he knew he got to play against you the next day, and you're the man that he got to guard. He watched the film and playing it back and looking at. He knew exactly where you're gonna release the ball from, and that's why he played defense. He only played all the time you dribbling and all of that. He just stand close to you. Now when you go into your shooting motion, now he know where you're gonna release it from.
Right.
That's where he put his hand.
He's a great athlete,
Okay.
though.
Yeah.
He's a great athlete.
You wouldn't play defense, Rodney. Stop texting, man. Call in,
All
Rodney.
right, all right. Let's say we got my man DJ Tiny in the building. This is a radio station. Just give me one more song where we get back to this conversation with the legends up in the building.
Let me be
want you to come running. Let me be the one you come running to. Whenever you need it, whenever you come on, baby. Let me be the one. I wanna be the one. Whenever you need it, whenever you need it. Lady love, come on, listen to me. I know you wanna turn away. All that we've been through, I'll never give up loving you. So won't you give me one more chance for romance? I'll show more love than you've ever known. Straighten it out and make love the way it should be. Oh yeah, one thing sure. Love we have will grow. If at first you don't succeed, you got to love again. Just let me be. Let me be the one you come running. The one you come running to. Whenever you need. Let me be the one you come running. The one you come running to. Whenever you need it. Oh, baby love. If you sacrifice 1 minute to hear what I have to say, still wanna hurt me, then walk away. I'll still be here, never in love with you, my dear. And the love I have for you won't disappear. No, no, let me show you more love than you've ever known. Straighten it out and make love the way it should be. Oh yeah. One thing sure, love we have will grow. If at first you don't succeed, you got to love again. Let me show you. Let me be. I wanna be the one. I wanna be the one you come running to, baby. Baby, all I wanna do is love you. Love has made a change in me. Oh, baby, all I wanna do is love you. Oh, does I love you? Love has made a change. Made a change. Baby, let me be the one. Whenever you need it. Come on, running. Let me be the one. You know I will love you. Whenever you need it. Let me be the one you wanna come run. The one you wanna come just run into. In the middle of the night, I'll make you feel alright. Hey, whenever you need it.
Okay. All right, we back.
Yeah.
And Derek was small.
We back.
All of us, like 6'3", 6'2".
All right. So Bus, you said you wanted to bring something up.
Oh yeah. You know, I represent Queens. You know, even in some ways, James, you don't like, but you're Queens guy. I don't care how I look at you. I still look at you like you're a Queens guy. You got some roots, Long Island, Brooklyn, but you're a Queens guy. So when we was here last time, when I was on the podcast, and I was just thinking about my all-time Queens street ball. Street ball is like you ain't playing the NBA, street ball team. And this was my all-time 5. I had Pete Edwards in the backcourt, had Vernon Moore in the backcourt, had Kev Young at my small forward, had DJ at my power forward, and had Ronnie Williams at center. That's, to me, that's what I like as my Queens street ball 5. So how do you like that, or who you want to replace? Or what's your street 5?
Well, you can't go wrong with that 5. You cannot go wrong with that.
Right.
5.
That's mine.
Right. Now,
What's yours?
You did put some restrictions on it where you said guys that didn't play in the NBA.
Yeah, could play in the NBA, right?
Now Ronnie Williams played a few games in the NBA.
Yeah.
Not he wasn't there. He wasn't there long enough for you to say because with the Celtics they kind of
You got
they kind of messed him up.
you gotta get a
Well, that's true.
second year check
Yeah,
at least.
yeah. And Brother Moore was actually.
I know,
drafted
second
by-
time, third round draft pick, Washington Bullets. I know.
But like you say, he got hurt.
But
he didn't play.
He made his bones in the streets. So what do you like?
I like those guys that
You like that five?
Right.
You want to make any changes?
Well, I don't know if I would make. I don't know if I make changes, because
You can make changes. You can make changes.
if you need to.
So that's my five.
Because I went down to Queensbridge, and when DJ was coming up in Queensbridge,
Man-child.
him and Ronnie, when they were coming up, they had guys down there over in Queensbridge,
I know.
man, that didn't play in the NBA.
Uh-huh.
that would.
But we
One
talking
guy
about
went-
they played in the streets, like you know,
Yeah,
you
he
play
did play the
like
streets.
you like
They
Burnham.
did.
No, like Burnham played all these tournaments.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I say street, but like
Yeah.
like can't play tournaments.
Yeah.
So you know, just
You can't
yeah,
go
but just
wrong
think
with
about
that.
it for a second. Can't go wrong.
No, you can't go
You like
wrong
it?
with that five.
Oh, man. There we go. We shaking on it. There you go.
No, you can't go wrong with
That's
that
it.
five.
Look,
All right.
look, me and James. Listen, we got this game going right now. Guess
All
what? Ain't gonna be no losers today.
Right.
All winners. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yo, but that,
Don't put. Thank God you ain't gonna put another L on me, man. I got
Yo.
enough of those losers.
You good, bro. You good.
Yo,
You good.
we always ask whoever come on to give words of encouragement, you know, to anybody that's listening to this, that's gonna see this. If you get words of encouragement, you know, whether it's about basketball or life in general. All right, you want to go first, boy?
Yes, I just like to say, you know, basketball, for some people, it could be a great way to make a great living. And then for others, end of the day, like things I did, what James did, yo, all we did was for the love of the game. To be able to say at the end of the game, we won and you lost. And that's what made it so satisfying, that we played harder than some dudes in the NBA just to be able to say at the end of the day, we won and you lost. So, you know, that puts basketball in its proper perspective. But in the big scheme of life, like when it's, you know, basketball is just, it's going to be something that's present, and then it's going to be something that's going to become part of your past. And then when you look back on it, you got fond memories. We can sit here today. So the beautiful part about basketball is that what I get from it is the relationships and the friendships that was developed from it, lifetime. And that's the beautiful part about it.
Life relationship.
So that's what I get out of it. And just, you know, as whether it's basketball or just living life, yo, as you get older, you appreciate life even more. So I always like to see a lot of my contemporaries and just seeing us, like when we have Ice 8 Day, Montebello, just seeing everybody. You know, I know James had a little health situation. It's glad you better. You know, just yo, man, it's just all that other stuff don't mean nothing, man.
It don't.
It ain't how much you got, what you worth. It's all about man, just how you doing.
Yeah.
And hope you're doing okay. And that's what I'm all about right now.
Facts. Yeah, that was good, boss. That was good.
Go ahead, call in, Rodney. Rodney said, I want to call in, but I don't want to talk too much.
Go ahead. Yo, but you can call back. You can call. Go ahead, James.
Well, I like to give words of inspiration and to generally speaking, to all these young kids today. When I say young kids, I should say high school age kids today, because young kids will become high school. But I happen to have some business arrangements over at Flushing High School campus and Transit Tech, and also I'm getting Long Island City High School soon. Prime time now is more than just a basketball.
It's a corporation.
It's a way of life.
It's a corporation.
Okay.
Because it's a way of life. When we were playing in the games, it was a way of life, because Kevin can attest to the fact that when we played basketball, sometimes, every time, all the time, we had 2 games a day, 2 on, but then sometimes we have 3, right? Because all these leagues. And at the end of the day, the sun goes down, and we were going to the clubs. You know?
Okay.
We were going as a team. So it was a way of life. When people speak, you hear players say, "Oh, we are a family." We actually became a family. We didn't really have factions. We had some guys who hung out together, like Tony Hargraves and Barry Canada and all that.
Right.
They knew each other already.
Right.
Vernon Moore, DJ, Ronnie Williams, they know each other.
The YMCA crew.
Then you had Pete Edwards and Kevin Young, who didn't have people they hung out with necessarily. So, but they wasn't loners, but Pete was a loner.
Kev had a young family at a young age. He had to get home.
I didn't need you, motherfucker.
Kev had young babies to get home too. That's it.
That's what it was.
Yeah, family.
No, they got on me for that shit.
No, seriously, real talk. Like you was the only one I knew that had families.
I was having babies. Yeah. They got mad at me for missing games.
Yeah, he had family. Like,
right.
He was right.
Everybody got along. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got along. Here, at where I am now in life, Prime Time is non-profit. It's 3 non-profit Prime Time organizations.
Right.
And we have 30 people every day. We have 30 people working at different schools, mostly fresh. And the kids today, and I find at these high schools, they are lost causes. They're lost, not causes, lost souls. So many of these kids are transformed because they were transferred here from their home countries. They don't speak the language. They didn't know the surroundings. And they come here at age 12, 13, some of them 15. And they have a hard time adjusting to the American way of life.
Yeah.
If you were born and raised in New York City, you have a hard time adjusting.
Yeah.
And
you got to figure it out on the fly. Definitely.
And so they don't want to go to class and refuse to come to school 100%.
Right.
Go to class, and I'm wondering where and what most of them are going to become. Every day, we are telling them, and I can give you names of some guys from the South of Jamaica who are working with me every day, like Greg Gay's son, Greg Edwards Jr.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Benny Timmons.
Okay.
Every day.
Okay.
Dennis Moore.
Okay.
All these guys with me every day.
Okay.
And we're all telling them life is just beginning for you.
Right.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
not ending. You're only 17. You're only 16.
Right.
Give life a chance. Yeah, definitely.
You gotta fight for yours.
Yeah.
It's yours. You gotta figure out what yours
Is right.
So I try to inspire them to not just go to class, but to learn something.
Right.
You are here. ICE will try to deport you.
Right.
That's a short-term thing. This guy's not going to be in office for 100
years. Yeah.
And so what you're seeing is not the true America.
Right.
It's part of America.
Right.
That's why he's in the office.
Because we got a lot of them out there that's like that.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
That's not fun. And I remind them that as a young kid, I had to pick cotton to buy sneakers to go to school.
That's what's up.
I got you. Yeah. That's real talk. That's real work.
You know what I'm saying? But
Definitely.
then from that, I ended up going to a big college and for free.
Right.
Getting an education for free.
Okay.
That was very.
He was determined to make something. With
Right.
Okay?
So that's a good message.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
But you can't let your day that's in front of you be what you got to look at that being behind you.
So we're about to wrap it up. James Ryan. We're gonna get some more knowledge from James Ryan next week, because he's gonna come back with David Williams. Because next week we're gonna get into the Globetrotters, right? Because David Williams used to always be on that team that played against the Globetrotters. I always wondered if those games was real, but we're gonna save that for next week. All right. Thank you.
Shout out.
Go ahead. Do a shout out.
Shout out to all my former players that helped turn Buster Bombers into a success. I love y'all guys. Just happy that we still have this friendship and these long-lasting relationship after all these years.
And thank you, Buster, for coming back. I'm gonna hit you up again soon.
No doubt.
And James, like I said, you'll be back next week. All right.
I hope that Kamani Jones is watching.
All right.
Because UConn went all the way to the chip.
They did.
I texted to him.
And he was a part of Buster's Bombers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first met him, he was 3 years old. But anyway, that was a long time ago.
All right.
Shout out to Kamadi Jones. Kamadi.
All right.
Well, we call him Kamadi Jones, but nice Kamadi Young. Jones Young.
All right.
UConn.
Kamadi.
All right.
When I was
But
getting old.
That's it.
peace, everybody. Thank you, everybody, that tuned in. We'll be back here every Thursday night, 8 o'clock.
That's
Peace,
what's up.
everybody.
All right.
All right.
It was a good talk.
man.
This was a good talk.
Yeah. What Rodney Peake want to get him? Get him on the phone. No.
Get it.
Wanna thank y'all for tuning in. Love y'all, tune in again. Like Steels be saying, tell a friend to tell a friend to tune in to the Legend Edition.
I'm singing for playing most supreme right here. 6 feet still can beat the whole damn dream team. With power, I devour any man in my way. Crown Prince of offense.
Started acting.